Hey, Julie. Welcome, my friend. All right. Wow, it's dark in here. All right, hold on. Okay, and Joy, there she is. Joy, you know, Joy, this is weird. I've met 3 Joys, including you, in the last week, and I think I've maybe met twice in my entire life. So that's sort of a sign from the universe. Joy, it's time for joy. What a positive, beautiful name. So I'm going to unmute you. Hopefully I can do it. There you go. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing better than well. I'm doing super, super fantastic.
You are. I can tell, and you're doing the work. I can tell that you're watching, you're implementing, you're processing. If you guys don't know, Joy is taking my course and doing on my YouTube channel. She's doing all kinds of cool stuff, and I just see you going for it.
I'm going.
Yeah, and so breakthrough fear is about doing it despite the feelings of wanting to pull back. And I'm going to talk about that today too, because when I get on, especially when I see the comments that you make, it's like you just hear it from people, you know, and you've read the comments on the channel. You can tell when they'll repeat what I say, they understand it, but then they say something that's really the total opposite of what they just said they believe. So you know they really don't believe it, but they want to. And so, you know, so the question is, how do you get past that? I mean, we've all been in that situation where you know it, you know, like, okay, quantum physics, like, okay, so in Breakthrough Fear, I actually have a lesson where I have a little cartoon character video that I took off of YouTube that's amazing. Dr. Quantum, who shows this is what's true. And then I showed Dr. Emoto. If you guys don't know who that is, it's he's no longer with us, but yeah, right? So yeah, Joy, you know that. And so did you go through that? Did you look at that yet, Dr. Emoto's stuff?
Not yet, okay. But I know who he is. I'm very familiar with him.
Yeah, so I include that. I've got all that, those references. So you can actually go and see that somebody's thoughts and speech can change the molecular structure of a glass of water. So if you pray over one, it'll be beautiful and crystals, and if you swear at one and you're saying, it'll crumble up and be nasty little black, you know, that's crazy stuff, right? It's like, whoa, okay, these guys aren't making this up. And then, okay, well, then, you know, there has to be something else. And we're always questioning this power. So then they did it with rice. They did it with everything. Well, what does that mean? It's not rice and water. It's everything. It's everything. So be careful of those thoughts, my friends, because you are creating at every moment. And that's a little scary. That's why I think my 3-second manifesting video went crazy. Last I saw, it's 500,000 views on that thing, and it's still going crazy. It keeps coming up in recommendations because it's making sense to people. It's simple. It's really simple. So what we do, and this is what we're going to talk about today, and of course I'm going to open it up to all your questions. This is going to be sort of an open forum. But what we do is we think that here's my life, and then here's manifesting. Manifesting's 24/7. You're always doing it. You are the energy that's creating at all times. We think it's separate from us. That's impossible. Energy's one thing. It's all connected. You know, string theory, all this stuff. Look at quantum physics. They've proven that your thought affects something, and it doesn't have to be in the room. It could be on the other side of the planet. And it doesn't travel. It's spontaneous. If you separate a photon and you do something to this one reacts exactly at the same moment as if it was never separated. Why? We're one thing. So when you're thinking and feeling something, and you're going through your day, and 90% of the time you're doing all this stuff, and you hate your job and all this other things, and then you question SFM, should I be doing this, and it doesn't work, and and then we get caught in the mindset, the same mindset as everybody out there. Make the money. And that, by the way, those companies out there that a lot of you've spent money on that don't work, they're banking on that thinking. They love it. They love it when you say, oh, do I have to spend more than $29? Really? You don't go to college and ask that question. You get an education, you invest in yourself, but they don't help you start a business, right? And SFM has a business platform. So I'm looking at this thinking, we've got to switch this thinking, because we've been told that's okay because people make money off of that. So when you're going through life with that thinking, you're questioning yourself, you're looking for something to give you the answer to fix it. And that's what we're always doing. We're looking for something to fix our problems all the time. And you wield unbelievable, unlimited power to change anything in your life. Fact. We all came here to play a certain role. Don't discount that. I don't want to be the Queen of England, right? I can't be the Queen of England. I didn't come here to be the Queen of England. I came here to be Landria. I came here to be a teacher. I got all my messages, and I went along with that path. You have the choice. You don't have to go on that path when the universe sends you messages. You can bypass it. You can decide not to do something. You can decide, even though it's screaming at you, and all these things show up, there's no coincidences, all these signs, oh, I got a sign, what are you doing with it, right? And so we ignore it. We don't understand our power. We don't understand that those signs are our very energy, our very soul, our spirit. I like to talk science because to me that's so much easier for people to understand that I'm not going in a woo-woo space here. When you realize that you are actually creating those messages yourself. So when you're ready for something and you're thinking you desire something, it's responding to give you the probability. So that message is a probability showing up to guide you to say it's opening, that door's opening. But people don't go through it, or they step their toe in there and they peek and they go, oh, it doesn't work, or it's scary over there. And change is the toughest thing for people to deal with, including myself. So I had a talk with Garrett. I hope he joins us. Garrett, as you know, I use him as an example because he really took it to the limits. He quit his job, by the way, very high paying job. So it wasn't like myself. It wasn't like we left something that wasn't successful, but it wasn't successful for us. And he just couldn't take it anymore. He quit, he packed up everything, and he moved in with his brother. And he's a baby boomer like me. He moved in with his brother and is working on the farm up in Pennsylvania. I mean, okay, this guy's an engineer. He's well-educated, very smart guy, had the families, been very successful. It's not like, he had nothing to go to. And he's experiencing right now I call it the backlash of what he just did. Because when you're going through things, and this is what happens when people join SFM or anything else, they get really excited because in their head, this is going to solve a problem for them. And they know, oh, this is it. It's going to get me out of something. And then you do something, and it's really exciting at the time, and especially like, oh, it's interesting and different. Oh, it's like so different from what you've been doing. And then reality sets in that it's not going to solve any problems, that you can do that. You always could. And what you just did is the stepping stone to doing that. But you're still dealing in the real world, which means when the dust settles, you have to deal with the fact that you just made a decision that's going to make you really uncomfortable. I don't know anybody who wasn't, including me. It's like, this is really uncomfortable. This is unknown turf. We're in an industry that's really very new for individuals like us, not for companies. They've been doing this forever. But even they were not taking it to the, let's just say, to the place where they could have. They have not expanded their reach. As you know, YouTube, we never saw car companies and insurance companies advertising on there. Nobody, I mean, that's just pretty recent. This last year that they started showing up, the big boys started to show up. What does that tell you? They know the power of it, and they realized all these little people out there on YouTube, you know, how many billions are watching this, views that they get, that's our target market, and that's where they're hanging out. And we as individuals get to reach those markets. It's crazy. What do you have to do? You have to create valuable content and products. You have to be aligned with value, absolutely value. And the second thing is you got to promote it. That's it. But what does SFM do? And this is why people have been unsuccessful. They really have no clue how to do that. I've had more people contact me and say, I have an e-commerce store, or, you know, I had a website, I have this, and we're just not doing that. Well, I said, you have no foundation, no training whatsoever that truly shows you how a business owner makes that happen. So anybody who's elite or above has access to training I'm going to have next week called the Foundations for Success. It's a two-session training. The first one is, what do I really need to be successful? Who are these guys on the leaderboards? What are they doing? What does it really look like? Well, they're showing numbers. I've shown my numbers. Dan shows his numbers, which is unheard of. People usually don't share that. That's very private information. We want you to know the reality of it and what that looks like. And we also talk candidly about what we had to do to get there. We want you to know that we just didn't sit back and treat this like a hobby. So again, you're in control. You get to decide what you do with this. So the other thing too is the second part of that training is going to be planning for expansion. So the training is not, oh yeah, let me look at my chat here. Manon, will your elite training be saved for later viewing? All trainings are recorded, all of them. You will never have a training within SFM or DEA, that's the silver and above memberships, which is import experts, that isn't recorded for you guys, all right? So you have more than you could possibly imagine. So if there's one subject, you go into the search and you say like tracking or YouTube or whatever, and it will come up and show you all of these resources for you in the library. So guys, don't hesitate to go in there. But do me a favor, focus on what you need at the moment, or else you'll go in the rabbit hole and you'll just, blow a circuit. So the second one is Foundations for Expansion. So I'm not trying to overload the elite members because most of them are fairly new that are going to be in that training. And some of you have been there a while. No matter where you are, do that elite training with me or watch that recording, because what I'm going to do, and which I do with here, I touch on this, is there is absolutely a formula to it. I've spent my first company I launched when I was 19 years old. I'm a born entrepreneur, but I'm going to tell you right now, and I've shared this before, everyone can learn how to do that. The difference between you and me, if you're not a born entrepreneur, is that you're going to have to go through the reprogramming to become that person to think differently. And we will be there. And that's why SFM has so much mindset. They're trying to get you to switch over. Just like my e-course, Breakthrough Fear, I'm helping people switch that thinking that they're in. Because they can watch my videos on YouTube and go, oh, that makes sense. But they're still going back to that life, those beliefs, that thinking that keeps them there. And they don't know why it's not working. Why am I not getting out of it? I meditate, I do these things. But they're still in that limiting belief, same actions, same whatever they're doing. And we're asking, why? Why are you doing this if it's not serving you? And I help them get out of that. And we have to reprogram, deprogram, and all the other stuff that we have spent a lifetime doing, and the collective consciousness and the whole planet loves to keep us in, our little minion roles. So the purpose of that lesson, and we're going to, like I said, talk about it today, is there is a foundation for it. And you're going to have to get yourself geared for that and start to switch into that gear where you start to act like, even if you're not feeling like it, act like a business owner. Why? Well, remember, fake it till you make it. There is something to that. Because if you're not feeling it, if you start to at least take the actions, you're opening up, your energy's opening up that space of the person who is at least acting like a business owner, an entrepreneur, taking charge, doing the things that is required for you to achieve those goals. So you can't set goals and not act like the person who's going to achieve them. That's a different person than who came into SFM, right? So we have to switch over, and I want to talk about that. I'll do that in Elite, and we'll talk today about, what does that look like, and are you ready to commit to it? Because if you're not, you will be the majority of people out there, SFM and business owners that I worked with for years, decades, couple decades, that failed. They just weren't doing what it took, and there's no such thing as, as failure. It's expansion. But most people, when they hit a wall, they're going to want to go run back to that place that they know. And that's what Garrett's experiencing right now. He's told me that he actually cried. He shared this on his YouTube channel. He cried. He was so overwhelmed, and he was missing Barbara, his wife, who died years ago. Well, not that long ago, and I said, that's odd. I said, I don't think you're missing Barbara, do you? And he says, what do you mean? I said, I think you're missing the stability and that world that you knew. You had that person there. You had that job. You had that world that you knew that world. Even if you didn't love that world, we knew it. It's what we were. And so when I pull somebody out of that and I say, okay, let's go over here, it's like, oh, it's very exciting. But when you actually start to live it, it'll scare the hell out of you because you don't know what to do with that. And I'll give you an example. I shared this on my YouTube channel. So my mom and dad were wonderfully stable people, and my brother and I were, of course, perfect angels. But we lived in a very Midwestern, very happy home, and my mom came from a very dysfunctional family. Her dad had, I think he was bipolar or something, back when they didn't know what that was, and they used to give him electric shock treatment. I was just crazy stuff. So he was all over the board, and she was in this unstable house where he's either great or he's just acting crazy. And so she wanted to make sure she had a household that was so far away from that. So she married a wonderful man, which my dad is a really stable, good guy. And so what happened was, she created this, I gotta mute everybody. She created this very stable, loving household that she didn't grow up in. But then she would start to create some problems, like with my dad. I actually didn't know this was going on because it was very private. She'd pick on him. She'd start to create problems. And so she finally realized this was a pattern. So she went to a counselor, shrink, and he said, well, this is real simple. And she's like, not to me. And he says, yeah, chaos. You understand chaos, and you know what to do with chaos. So you keep creating it because that's familiar to you. And she says, that's not what I want. He says, it doesn't matter. Your brain knows chaos. So it gets uncomfortable when things are going really well and they're all happy. She doesn't know what to do with that. So she'll start to cause problems. So she said, oh my God, she didn't even realize. And she shared this information with me later on. And I said, wow, that's crazy, but that's what we do. So what happened is when it showed up, because that's why I tell you guys, fear, all these things will show up. We're not going to eliminate them. We have to learn how to deal with them when they show up and understand what it is, and that we do not have to react against it. Just because it shows up doesn't mean you have to do anything with it, all right? So when it shows up, it's like, there it is. There's a trigger somewhere that tells you, I'm uncomfortable. What am I doing? You want to run back to that familiarity, that turf that even if you hated it, you at least know what it is. You understand it. So somebody just came on. Okay, cool. We're muted. Oh yeah, Judith, I'm going to record all of this, and this recording will go out. So I want you guys to understand that you're going to experience this. Every single one of us does. I knew what to do as an investment banker, but I knew I would never go back to that. And I knew that this was amazing and it was huge, especially because I worked in the, industry of businesses and what it took. I knew this was the key. to everything we seek: independence, ownership, making our own decisions, but having all of this support, getting the training, ongoing. That's what your $97 a month pays for. An entire staff of people. I don't know how many. It's at least 200,000 to 300,000 a month. Stu and Jay personally, they didn't borrow money, personally invest every month to keep that entire staff running for you. Tech teams that you would have to pay for, everything. Every little problem you have somebody to go to. So you have no excuses now. It's going to be, are you willing to get past those barriers? Because even if you're a little lost and you're not really sure what you're supposed to do with this, that's okay. Be prepared for the journey that's going to start to open those doors. But you have to switch over to that mindset that says, the stuff's going to show up. I've been programmed to think a certain way, and I must reprogram myself to be the business owner, to be independent, to be the person who gets the answers and doesn't keep acting like an employee, which most people are. They love to be told what to do, because if something goes wrong, they can blame your boss or whoever. There's always somebody to blame. What happens when there's nobody to blame? Ooh, I have to take responsibility. But on the flip side of that, that means you have responsibility, power. You can change anything. So you don't have the boss that says you have to work so many hours. You decide. And that's the beauty of it and the challenge. So get ready for that and know you're going to experience it, and you're just going to have to reprogram yourself, because once you go into that space where you become that empowered business owner, it's going to blow your mind. You're going to realize, I told Garrett the other day, I said, I still, every once in a while, have to, grasp the fact that I do whatever I want every day when I want to do it, even if I don't want to work. I mean, I never think twice about it unless I have a scheduled call. I absolutely live my life the way that we talk about, the way everybody wants to, and that it's automated, and that I can go and, walk to the restaurant with a friend, and if I have to check on something, this phone keeps me connected to what's going on out there. So I know if something went down or isn't working, or if somebody signed on and I need to welcome them. It's really an amazing life. It's worth it. So get out of that trained programming that you're in and know that you're going to have to watch it, observe it, know when the triggers show up, and that's going to be the difference between you being successful or going back to that safety net and throwing links out there for Amazon, for like Dot and Ken and I talked about this on the last call. It's like, is it worth you putting a link out to make 50 cents on a book? Focus on what's really going to bring that income, but most of all, make sure it's what you want to do. The training isn't you're not going to be passionate about the training. I don't know anybody who is, unless you really love to learn and you're really getting into it. The training's tough. There's a reason for that. You're in a real school right now, not that crap out there that they throw at you and tell you can be successful. It doesn't work. So you're in real training. Once you learn that, that's what business owners do. They have to do the tough stuff because what they get from it is so amazing. So I want to open it up to you guys because I want you to understand that there is a formula to it, and that you're going to have to retrain yourself to become the business owner, to take charge. And some of you come very naturally to that. Katie Jo's one of them. She's just that girl, she's not just teaching, she's doing it for herself. So she's creating the business out there, because a lot of us will stay in our safe SFM world. It's easy to do that. We'll stay in SFM and we'll be here and do the 90-day video challenge and never put that video out there to the public. It's going to be the toughest thing you may ever have to do. It wasn't for me. I'm like, nobody's watching. It's no, right? Katie's just like, nobody's watching. And then you find out they really are. You're going, woo, okay, well, this is good. This is what I wanted. And then you have to switch gears and say, wow, okay, what am I saying? And you have to take responsibility for that and realize I'm getting data, I'm getting information. So now I can gear my business to where it's going to take me. Because like I shared with you before, if you love, somebody was just, is going to be coming on board here this week, and she said, she's a tech in a medical office. She says, what I really love is I'm really getting into, the healing and all this other stuff. And I said, that's huge. People want to get away from the pharmaceuticals, the crap that we're being pushed. I'll tell you what, the matrix, the structure out there wants you to work your butt off, wants you to go eat junk food, wants you to do all the things that are going to eventually kill you, because the pharmaceutical companies, one of the most powerful industries on the planet, wants you sick. And you know what? I saw a commercial the other day. I seriously, I thought, this is insane. If somebody plopped down this planet, they go, is this real? So this doctor's talking to his patient who's depressed, and she's already on antidepressant meds. And he said, did you know 2 out of 3 people's depression medication doesn't really make a difference? Here's another medication you can take that'll help that. He didn't say to quit the other med. You take it in addition to the meds that aren't working, that are masking depression. That's probably not physical at all. It's probably the fact that you're dealing with some serious stuff on this planet, and you need to get in touch with your happy self in there. Let's give you another drug. And then we need drugs to counteract the damage those drugs do. And I thought, this is an insane planet. This is crazy stuff. And we're watching this. And then this woman's going to the pharmacy. I need this drug for my son. I'm like, what? Now they're, they got to get the kids on the meds. They're out of control. Dope them up. Get them on the drugs now. And this, we don't realize that's the matrix we're in that we accept. And if we do not break out of that and help other people to break out of it, we have to be leaders. And if you can't do it for yourself, then ask yourself what you can do to change this planet and help other people. If that's what drives you, is like, okay, maybe I don't do things for myself or I don't believe it, but I know that I can help people find ways to get out of depression or be healthier, and then maybe they don't even know what they're doing that is making them feel more depressed, a physical thing or hormonal or whatever else it is. And if you can be the person that opens that door, you will not only make money doing that, because people are willing to pay for being healthy and feeling happy, but you're going to change their lives at the same time. So instead of them spending money on stupid stuff that's killing them, they're going to spend it on stuff that's going to heal them. And it's all good. It's good for you. It's good for them. And then you can expand on that. So like I said, until you go into that space, once you master the affiliate marketing, master this, understand how the whole system works, and know that you'll start to slowly go into that space, and only getting yourself out there will give you that information of what people want to hear from you. I don't know if you guys know, I never talked about spiritual stuff in if you look at, was it like 2,500 videos ago when I first started, I talked about mentoring. I never had a mentor in my entire life. I kept trying to find one. It was mind-blowing. I was like, why is nobody showing up? I was always the person in charge. I was always running the show. Everybody came to me, and I never had anybody that truly mentored me. And that was really disturbing for me. I'm like, everybody has somebody that they, have to go to. And then Stu showed up on an ad, and 6-figure mentors. I mean, come on, it doesn't get any bigger of a message than that. And I said to myself, mentor, even if this guy's like, half my age, well, he's not half my age, but he could be my son. I'm thinking, all right, so what's the deal here? It's somebody who's going to guide me and give me some answers, and that I don't have to be the person in charge, but I am in charge ultimately. But I have somebody to go to that's going to guide me on that. This is the beauty of what we have. So like I said, once you master it and you get yourself out there, you're going to start to get information. I think like Katie Jo has animals. She's a beautiful girl. She's, she has so much patience. She's, all this is reflected in her campaigns and her animals. People love animals. You don't have to sell anything or be an SFM rep. people want to connect to you, and it's the relationship. So I want to share some statistics that I just looked at. This is interesting. When I go in my AWeber, that's where we collect our emails, where people go in and they see the workshop series and everything. You can go in there and get all kinds of great information, see what they're looking at. If they unsubscribe, was it consistently one video, or was it just all over the place? If you post a video, how many people are clicking through or whatever, so that you can get that feedback of what they do and don't like, right? So I went in there and I'm realizing that I'd say 75% of the people signing up for SFM are on my YouTube channel and signing up to my inspirational list. They know me. They already know me. So that's a trust level. And they realize that if I'm talking this and doing this and being very transparent, why would I be with a company, a platform that would be anything less than ethical and positive? So it's that relationship building. And I want you guys to not discount that or think that you don't supply that. It's not about your background or your qualifications, your experience, or if you're making 6 figures with SFM. It's about you're over there in the platform doing it, and you give them information. What is it like? What can I expect? What are the costs? I mean, what are you doing with it? Or they'll share with you, like, oh, I have an e-commerce store. It's not working well. It's like, okay, we have import experts. That's your place. We have a whole staff of people that will work with you to look at that and find out why it's not working and correct it, and then help you expand on that. You just are the information person who's doing it. A lot of people, they're selling all this stuff out there. Half of them don't even own the stuff they sell. So I just want you to know that it's all about you, the individual, the value you bring, the message you share, and getting past all the mind chatter in your head, because you will make this work. And the reason why so many people do quit is because they just don't believe it. And they do that in everything in their life. They settle. They settle and they run back to what they know. So be prepared to be uncomfortable. You're in a very good group, because every single one of us is in the same position you are. And that's what makes us so powerful. We have a whole community of people who talk about this. And we can talk you off the ledge if you get to that point. So I had the talk with Garrett, and I said, it's time for you to open up that second website, because he has his campaigns running. He's got great videos. He's just now starting to get some traction. He's sort of like where Katie Jo is. I said, okay, he wants to be a coach, and I've already seen that he says that in his emails, life coach. And I said, wow, so you already really know what you want to do. And that'll develop. So I said, launch that second site, because, he's going through this, shock of change, and he's got some goals. And I mean, you're thinking like, okay, you're in your 50s and you're living with your brother and working on the farm. I mean, so society, in your head, society's saying, dear Lord, this is where you ended up, right? But the truth is, thank God this is where you ended up, because that's the only way you're going to get out of that. It was going to kill you. And so this is the naming the labels of what we should and shouldn't be doing, and what's success and what's not, and what are you doing? And, and you got to move past it. You got to get past it. So that's why this community is powerful, but be okay with getting out there and exposing yourself to amazing people. It will blow your mind. When I get some weird comments, I actually think they're really funny. You should see some of the stuff people say, and they're just using the internet as some power place. And when they realize they have no power or voice on your channel, you control all of that. So don't be afraid of that. It's like, seriously, that's one in every, probably, I'd say 10,000 people will say something really out there, Satan's going to rule and all. What? It's like, but there's people out there like that. So that's okay. Be okay with that, and know that you'll be shocked at the positive response you're going to get. It blew my mind. I was like, whoa, I didn't know I could have this kind of impact. And the more you see that response, the more you're going to want to do it. and it's just going to grow and grow because people want to be around positivity. They want change, positive change. They want the support. And if you can give that, man, you're going to just knock it out of the park. So I'm going to open it up. Does anybody have any questions? By the way, I invited applicants on here. I want you guys to know that you're welcome to ask me any questions if you haven't joined yet. And we've got many members on here too that can be happy to answer questions in addition to myself about what it's like, what you can expect, how long does it take, all this stuff. Don't be afraid to ask these questions. If you're a member, feel free to ask these questions. There's, you don't have to get on here and be all positive. If you're feeling some stuff, let's share it. Let's talk about it right now. So does anybody have a question? You can put it into the chat. You can raise your hand if you want to come out and talk to me. Don't be shy. It's a private group, by the way. This does not get shown to the public. This just gets shown to you. All right? This isn't going out to a bunch of people outside of our group, so don't worry about that. All right. Hey, Jen. Jen's on here, and Jenny Lane and Jen Pucci, I hope I pronounced that right, is on here. Welcome. I see some really new people on here, which is great. Jamie's doing some office. Okay, so Jamie, she joined a while ago. We lost her for a while. She's come back. She's taken my e-course, and she's telling me some really a little mind-blowing stuff that's happening for her, which is very cool. Because she's just like, yeah. Oh, Jen, the essential package. Yes. So Jen Pucci, she signed up yesterday, the green box in your account that talks about the essential package. Great. Good. That'll give you access now to all the modules. So just start working through all that. Oh, yeah. Kathy, no video or mic. 10 for 10. Okay, Kathy. All right. I'm going to tell you what 10 for 10 is. SFM started this, it's sort of like a little private group called 10 for 10. They used to just take 10 people who had 10 leads and had made, I think, $10,000. There's requirements. They don't want newbies in there who won't know what they're talking about. You want to shoot for that. That's a goal for you. I did 10 for 10 last year. And there were, I think, 12 of us in the room. We were in a mansion in Ascot, England, and we spent almost a week together in isolation. And it was, because it was like 20 below, and it was like freezing, like ice outside. You couldn't do anything. We were in there. We all had our own private rooms in the mansion. And then we come down first thing in the morning, and we started working. And we were working all day. We'd break, and we'd back working again. 10 for 10 is about you. It's not training everybody. It's each, that's why they keep small groups. Each individual in that room, we talk and we scrutinize the videos, the landing, be ready for that. I mean, they dig deep into it. And so everybody in the room watches your video, they put it on a big screen, and then they have your thank you page, your landing page, they go through your statistics, what's your response rate, what all this stuff. So, and the things that you're not doing properly, we get trained on that. And then so we have Christian Beer and Martin Strom, who are one of the leaders, are sitting in there with us. Dan Holloway was there. Just Stu and Jay, of course, and Justin. The big guys are in the room with you. And so basically they're ripping your entire business apart and just going through and just upping your game and showing you where you can improve, some things you can do. Christian went in and started to make some big changes. And this is funny because I'm on SLC, Simple Lead Capture landing page, which is not the greatest because the tracking isn't accurate. And they were trying to get me out of there. And so while we were sitting there, a silver, a gold, and a couple elites came in. While we were sitting there working on the computer, he goes, I'm not touching this. He says, I don't care if you're on SLC. He said, it's working. We're touching nothing, because as soon as you start to mess with stuff. So I do things a little bit differently than some of the other leaders. I don't track like they do. I don't use CPA, which is cost per view. They're doing what cost per acquisition. I use cost per view. I do everything's like so different than what they do. I mean, and mine's working. So there's, like Dan said, there's no one way. So 10 for 10 is amazing. It's something you should shoot for when you've really mastered this. I really recommend that, because if you go in there and you haven't mastered this stuff that you can do on your own and within the community and the trainers, you will waste your time there, because you want to be on a higher level so that when you go in there, you're really going to understand what they're talking about. You're going to already have a lot in place, and you'll have data and information. And then they're going to absolutely, like I said, really look into things. But if you don't have anything set up, you know, you're still sort of functioning like a beginner intermediate, and you will kick yourself, you know. So so shoot for that. But like I said, focus on becoming the master of whatever it is you want to do, and start getting that income, those revenues coming in. And then we talk about acceleration, you know, which I just recently did. If you notice, I was low on the leaderboards, and I popped back up on. I'm scaling right now. So when something's working, you scale. It'll scare the crap out of you, because you think that's an easy decision to make. Dan said he did it too, and that he was like having a heart attack. You start putting more money into it. So if you put $1 in and you get $2 back or $3 back, what are you going to do? You're going to put as much money in as possible. But there's still that chance that maybe 1 month it doesn't work, or, you know, something happens or whatever. So it's a little scary, but that's what business owners do. So he backed off a little bit, but I'm scaling right now. All right. So, oh, it's Poochie. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's cute. Poochie like Gucci. All right. The 2 C's. Yes, I get it. All right, thank you. All right, so Jenny Lane just started module 5. Ooh, okay. You're wondering how the mini site works with your main site. My main site, yeah, the mini site. We never had that when I was learning. That's fairly new. It's great because it's all done for you, but it's also taking you to a more automated place that's not you. Because it's about SFM, and a lot of people want that. I don't teach that. I tell people to become very independent as early on as they can. A lot of people put that on, end up taking the mini site off, because it's just about SFM. Mine are customized. When you get on there, I'm talking, I have my videos, you know, I have separate training. Everything's about me working with you. So my main site is to focus on what I've learned on my journey with my health, mindset, and spirituality. Listen, I got to tell you guys, if you saw my webinar, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I did the searches on Google Trends. I showed you how to pick keywords. So I did law of attraction, and I put it up against meditation. No brainer. I mean, law of attraction was down here and meditation was up here. It was like this huge gap. And I went, holy cow, law of attraction used to be up here and meditation would be down here. What does that tell you? People are breaking through and going into spirituality. They're not about the money. They're going after what they love in their life, because they know the money will come, and they don't even care, because who gives a crap if you got I had an 8,200 square foot home and you're sitting there going, now what? You know, so simplify your life, be happy. And that's what they want. They want to travel, they want to do things, and they want to be able to make the money to support that. And that's where SFM comes in. So I put the meditation keyword in there, which it shocked me, because I went, wow, people are meditating out there. That's huge. And law of attraction, not so great. They're like, okay, that's not working, right? You know, I'm going to get the money. I want to get the job. And so they realized the meditation's actually law of attraction. When you meditate, you're opening up the gateways. You're shutting down and training your mind to stop thinking so much. And the more you do it, the more you function like that in the world, the planet world, the whatever real, whatever you want to call this. So you actually start to go into that peaceful space more and more and more. And then when you walk around, you find yourself actually doing it during the day. I can shut down thinking anytime. In fact, I usually don't unless I'm on here writing and stuff. So I want you to know that is a huge space, and there's so much room within that space of spirituality, mindset, and health is a big one. So how do people become healthy? Why are people not healthy? They're reaching for stuff that is going to fill a void. They're doing stuff because they don't have information and education. They don't even realize what's an imbalance. I was feeling some weird stuff going on last year. I was like, I eat super healthy, and I remembered that magnesium and what else was it? Magnesium's one of them. I've got another one. I'll think of it. I'm having a brain drain. I looked it up. Within 24 hours of me taking it, it all cleared up. So especially if you're vegetarian, a lot of people going vegetarian and vegan, sometimes, especially because even our foods out there don't have nutrients in it. That's just the world. And they can have deficiencies. So if there's some spot within all of this that you know or love, you can go ahead and educate yourself and educate other people. You're on track. So yeah, most people don't know where to start. And there's some amazing people out there, but I'm telling you that it's a huge space. The ultimate desire is to inspire others to live their passion. That's how people get healthy. Making money is not going to make them healthy. They got to love what they're doing and feel good about it, right? Yep, creating their own business or charity to help others to find their way. Don't forget what you're learning is the most powerful thing for charities. Something happened. This is a lot of fun. We have a charity event. I love animals, so I do a lot of animal charity stuff. And I was on the phone with one of the chairpersons of a charity, and I said, do you have your email list set up? Do you have your autoresponders? Do you have an e-commerce store on your site? Well, no, we're not selling anything. I said, you're doing an event. Where are they going to sign up? Well, we'll get them a link for PayPal. I said, so every one of those people coming to the event, you won't have their emails. You'll have no information. So next time you have something, you can't email them to say, hey, we have another event, or I know that you loved this, or here's a bonus. Or she goes, well, is that really necessary? I said, yeah, it is. I said, do you know we can set all of that up in an hour? She was just like blown away. And I said, oh yeah, e-commerce store is free. WooCommerce, download it, connect your PayPal account. That's it. That's it. She goes, what? I said, you have a website? I'm willing to bet you have an autoresponder connected to it, especially GoDaddy gives you that option, right? You can do email lists. I said, they wanted me to design some flyer to go out. I said, that's ridiculous. You have software. You could do it in a few minutes. That's my AWeber. This morning, it took me 60 seconds to send that notification out to you guys at exactly 11:55, going live in 5 minutes. I'm not sitting here doing that. Every time I'm going, I click the button and I tell it who to send to, what time it goes out. So people don't understand that we know how simple it is once we learn it, but the world doesn't. They don't know that these tools are so powerful and that they could do it for charities and create, instead of all these events and they're working hard and all this stuff. Holy cow, do you know how much money they could raise by doing some amazing campaigns? Come on, okay. #1 videos on YouTube, cat videos, dog videos. Come on, people love animals. You want to get attention? This is the kind of stuff you can do. So let's say you want to work with animals, or and that's your campaign is for animal lovers or whatever. Push that imagination out there, push it out, and just say. So a lot of times we're so busy trying to do what everybody else is doing because we think that works. And it's as you know, how I work, how I function every day. It's the total opposite that works. It's the opposite that works. It's being the person that is doing something different that gives them new information, solving the same problem, but doing something completely different, like keto, the keto diet. If I see one more thing in the keto diet, but it's new and people are looking for new solutions because the other stuff's not working. right? Law of attraction's not working for people. So if you give them something completely different, what do I say in a lot of my videos? Do this, be successful without law of attraction. Well, what they don't know is everything's law of attraction. Ultimately, it's just a different way of saying quantum physics. But if I can switch their thinking, as soon as they see that, they go, yeah, because law of attraction, it's not working for me. I want to see something different that will. And when I show them and I get it in their head that this is not law of attraction, it's like, it's just a different way of saying it and viewing it differently. It starts to click with them, and it's working. It's working. I'm simplifying things for people. So if you can make it simple, give them simple steps. So I'm writing a book right now called The 3 Human Energy Fields. This is not something I got from somebody else. I just create stuff. I just come up with this stuff, create it. It makes sense to me, and I think it makes sense to most people, and it helps them. If I can simplify how they think of energy and how to use it, it's powerful. So it's going to be a free book. So people that take my course are going to get it. And I'm going to start sharing this information. But what's going to happen is that book makes me somebody who's different and maybe an expert at something that they're not hearing out there. It's really the same information, just a different viewpoint. I mean, this stuff's been around since the beginning of time, right? But we're helping people to see it differently. If you can take something and just help somebody see it differently, or give them a different way to be healthy, or work past the mindset, or be able to do something like this, take this training, and, you know, how do they use it? Then, like a charity, you know, a charity could do a basic training, have one of their administrators go through the basic training. If $300 for the basic membership and $97 a month can increase their revenues, their charitable donations, by tens of thousands of dollars a year, it's worth it. And they spend that much money. They spend a lot more than that anyways. So get creative with this and start to think about, how can I present this differently? How can I give them simple steps to do certain things? How can I start to be an expert or help people look at things a certain way, and people associate that kind of philosophy with me, and then you eventually open up the second website that's your coaching or your e-commerce store where you're selling holistic foods or whatever. So just stay on it. Some of this stuff's going to take time. You've got to stay on it. So like I said, my elite training, we're going to go into the habits, the commitment, the planning, the switching your thinking, learning how to be the business owner. It does take a while to learn that if you have never been a business owner. It is a different way of life and thinking. It's an amazing one. But again, you're going to want to gravitate toward what you know, even if it's not good. So get ready for this. All right, Ken and Dot, is there a platform you suggest to create an ebook to offer value and leads? Guess what? Yes. I just discovered something thanks to Susanna Stump, who I don't think's on here. Did you know, first of all, I use KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. It's part of Amazon. Did you know, I don't know why everybody makes a big deal out about writing books. I'm self-published. You know, you don't need a big publisher. You can go to a big publisher at some point anyways, even if you're self-published. You don't have to spend any money. Did you know you can create any kind of book on KDP? And there is a platform called Tangent that I just bought. It's $59. And it helps you to create any kind of book, journal, instructional manuals, anything. And what it does is it gives you the templates and platforms and everything so that you can publish direct to KDP and be good to go. So, so you can publish off of there, and they will be required to sign up to your email list to get that link, right? You can also sell stuff on there. So you can create a bunch of $5.95, you know, 10 steps to whatever. An email mini course to offer value and produce leads. Yes, so here's what I would suggest. So I'm going to pull you out, Ken and Dot. I'm going to unmute yourself because I'm going to talk to you right now.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so here's what I want to do, Ken, is first of all, elite if you guys are elite or above, I'm going to give the e-publishing training in there, and I'm going to give you all the links to everything that I'm using, because I feel really good about this. This is very simple, and I'm doing it myself. So I'm going to give you that training on how to create the ebook. And the other thing is, everything should be done, at least in the beginning, through your AWeber Legacy series. What you do is you create a separate list. You don't want them going into, you don't want SFM and those people in the same list. They're not the same, animal. So if you're going to teach something else or give them something else, what you do is you create a separate list and you say, if you'd like a free ebook on blah, 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 or whatever, and you're going to take them down a different road than the workshop. Workshops, that's just our introduction to everybody. Then I do a legacy series. So like every couple days, I'm shooting a video and I stockpile them, so I'm not doing anything after I put the content in. And you say, okay, congratulations, thank you. Just like it's a landing page with a thank you, and you're going to receive your download here, and make sure you don't go into spam, just like you would with your SFM. They go in, the first email they get immediately is your video, you talking, the download, and then that's it. And it's KDP's free. It's free. So I'm going to show you guys a bunch of free stuff. And again, hey, how many authors are out there? Write the book. What the heck? Why would you hold back? How many years does it? It took me a few months to write that book that's a movie. A few months. I was on it. So again, you have to decide how dedicated you are on progressing. Time is money. It really is, because if you're not spending the time, the money's not going to come in. You've got to reach those markets. And I'm sorry, it is a numbers game, and you've got to find those targets that are working. Once it clicks, man, then you accelerate it, you expand on scale. So Ken, absolutely, I think that's an amazing way. SFM does it. SFM, if you guys don't know, gives a free PDF. I've had people contact me and go, where's the PDF? They missed the link. So something else you guys can do in your workshop series is find that link. Make sure you've got your test it to make sure your affiliate link is coming up. And then after they're done, they may have missed it. Say, free PDF. Did you get your free PDF? And they're probably thinking, what? I didn't see a free PDF. And then you have an email right after, maybe it's, number 5 or 7, maybe the next one after they're done. And just say, if you missed it, here's a free PDF and here's what it's going to show you. And then you have your $29.95 application. It's going to really just, help them feel much better about what this is. Mm-hmm. And so I would just use all those tools. Those are super powerful. They're really easy. And just so you guys know, a free ebook could be 5 steps to getting past your, limiting thing, 5 steps to being healthier. So again, you can start creating different lists. So let's say you want to go into the health industry. And so everybody that gets that one book should be separated. You know that they're in there for health. You don't want to sell a bunch of other stuff to them, but you can say, hey, if you're interested in this, click, and they go to another list. Get them out of there. So like I shared with you earlier, I have people on 4 different lists. I'm like, whoa, they're in all my lists. Like, because I'll say in the inspiration, are you interested in, learning what I'm doing for a living, how I make money? What are the tools that I have that allow me to be on YouTube and all the things you see? I just didn't do that. I had to have some serious training. Click here. And people are doing it. They're like, yeah, I would love to do that. I'd love to do what she's doing or have a website or whatever. And so they will go into that other list. So use that. And that's part of my business strategy that I work with you guys on. And I will talk about that in the elite training. But so we talk about that. If you guys are not opening my elite training emails, I do actually start to go into that. The longer you're on that list, you'll see me start to push you to expand out into that and how that works. I'm going to be adding more training about Instagram and connecting all these things. But what I want to make sure that you're doing, Ken, is not scattering yourself all over the place and starting to hone in on what you really what your message really is. You can expand off of that, but I think you got to be really clear on that first, right? And I think, I'm not sure if you guys have found that lane yet, because, you know, you definitely are targeting an audience that understands. You know, you guys that's a unique audience, and that's a pretty big audience actually, because that could be insurance people, financial people, traders, all these different kind of people that are just sort of really working for themselves in a really tough kind of business. So I really think so. So let's talk about what you're doing and dig deep into that.
Okay, so, well, we've been doing the mindset. So it's really led down the path of awareness. I figure if I'm going to be doing this, I might as well do something to benefit others as well as benefit myself. So it's more on, are you familiar with, like, you know, just slowing your emotions down to be aware, that type of thing?
You mean like the present moment?
Yeah, just awareness itself.
The power of now?
Yeah, it's basically, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But most of those people that I listen to do not show ways to do it, in my opinion.
Yes.
That's the angle I would like to pursue, to actually go into the moment.
Like how do you do that? Because people have the, okay, I'm in the moment, I'm here, now what, right? But while they're in the moment, they're going blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but then, you know, when you slow down, you can watch your thoughts, and it just creates calm within, as well as being able to have the correct mindset to perform in a business or just in life itself. So it's wide open, but I can definitely apply it to trading.
Oh, totally. So I have a question for you. Do you have a name for this?
I haven't gotten that far, but I've been doing this stuff for years. So
I think you should pick a name, because I think you should brand yourself.
Yeah.
Brand it. Pick a name and call it something. So mine is Breakthrough Fear. Everybody hears me say Breakthrough Fear constantly, even though that's not the name of my channel or my site or anything. But that is a path that I take people through, and I show them step by step by step how to do that. So you might have, 10 ways, and to be in the present moment. But how does that help you in your business or your personal life? Because that's like, oh, great, but what's this going to do for me? Everybody wants, what's the result? And then you show them how it actually can affect their performance and stuff, and demonstrate that. That would be really powerful.
Yeah.
Come up with a really cool name and brand it.
Okay, thank you. So as far as the ebook, do you suggest that over an e-mini course?
Yes.
No? Okay, go the ebook. Okay. And just offer that. I'm not going to start.
Establish, before you guys do any courses, like I said, do a legacy series.
Yep.
And do an ebook and master that. Because I'm going to tell you something, an actual course, whoa, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know what you just said.
And then I'll help you. Yeah, I'll help you with that.
The eye exercises. It took.
Well, so call it a mini course, and that's just your legacy series. You have emails once a week. You have a video and a PDF come. That's a course. You can do it off of Aweber. You don't have to set a course off of a website or anything.
Okay.
And if unless they pay for it, but you don't want to do that right now. I think you I would establish myself and then get some responses, and then people are going to go, wow, we've got some responses here. People ask me, what's the feedback from people? I've got a ton of it. Boy, I've got tons of quotes. People are telling me stuff that's happening for them. It's mind-blowing. It's crazy. And so you can demonstrate the results of it. And they're going, oh, yeah, I want that. And so then you can start charging. And then you create an online e-course. But you have to have a second site to do that. That's why I said brand yourself, establish this thing that you're going to do. Launch that second site and start to build that brand. And then you'll have people going back and forth. It's going to accelerate your SFM business too.
Okay. Thank you, Landria.
Yeah, my pleasure. Because you guys are right there. You're right there. You know, you just got to get that content going.
Yeah.
And you know what? I change mine all the time. I'm always adding, or sometimes I'll go back and go, ooh, I don't like that video, and I'll replace it as I feel like I have better information or present it better. So don't be afraid, guys. It's like, you know, we were just talking earlier, you got to get out there. That's how you get your information. And it's not like, you know, you don't have millions of people right now, so don't worry. Test now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So,
I understand.
okay. So does anybody think you can? Oh, okay. Katie, Joe, come on out. You don't know what a legacy series is? Can you unmute yourself?
I'm not sure I understand it in the context, the different contexts.
All right, so Aweber, when you go in and you want to create a list, create something, you create your list, and then you can do a draft. When you do your draft, you can decide whether it goes out as a broadcast. That's a one-shot deal. Or you can add it to the legacy series. The workshop is a legacy series. It's a permanent. That's a permanent. You can create your own. You say legacy series. So even though you have nothing in yours in a new list, you're creating it. So you'll say this draft is legacy series. They say when you want it to go out immediately, and then the next one, you know, the next day, and the next one a week later. You get to set when they go out, and then you keep building on that. So I have months worth of emails that go out automatically, and then you just have to go back and update them sometimes because, you know, and then so if you want to add something, you know, to it, then you can put one in up here or down here or whatever. And so you create your own legacy series. So that would be a mini course too. But again, you're not charging for that in a legacy series because that's not coming off of an e-commerce store. They're not signing up. They could, but I don't recommend that. I recommend that you send them over to an e-commerce store where they purchase it, and then you can track all that information. It's just the better way to do it. So yeah, so what are you doing for your second business? Are you doing a second business?
I do plan on doing a second business. I think I'll probably do an e-course. I'm a clinical therapist.
Hey, so, Katie, we can't hear you.
Oh my gosh, but it's still new. Okay, how about now?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I'm a clinical therapist. So my YouTube channel is all about finding joy. I'm all about life changes. So I'm going to capitalize that in my own business and probably similar to what you've done. I have an ebook idea about growing your career quickly, change. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Did you set up the second site yet?
I haven't yet. I just started my YouTube channel about a month ago.
Okay, cool. When you feel like you've got a handle on your affiliate marketing and you're just building and tweaking, you don't have to be, you know, out, you know, some big earner yet. I would launch the second site because it'll help you to start to create that brand as you're going. You'll have fun with it because my second site sat there forever before I actually did anything with it. But I kept changing it, and it started to, you know, when I got tired of the affiliate marketing focus, I would switch over and start to create that brand, and then it started to develop in the YouTube channel. Again, you know, you can have a separate landing page at some point if you want to develop that. But you have to have that site ready to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to get too ahead of myself right now.
I agree.
I watched your third section of the YouTube training yesterday. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. It got me so pumped up. So I like what you said in there about, you know, using the .NET site as kind of a funnel for a while until I build my business site. I think that's the route I'm going to go right now.
Yeah. So good. One thing I would like you to do is figure out the sound issue with your computer, because you're going to want to do Zooms and webinars and stuff, and you're going to have clear audio.
Yeah.
What's going on with your computer?
Well, I don't know exactly. I've had this issue. I've noticed it for the last few weeks, and I'm about ready to upgrade my computer
Okay.
to a Mac. So this gives me a little bit of an interest to do that.
Just so you guys know, sometimes you just need a headset. So you might want to try a headset next time, see if we can get past this. Jenny Lane, is the affiliate marketing on your main site different? Should it be two different sites? Absolutely. So my main site was SFM, but it's .net. I reserved .com for my other business because I knew that I was going to have a business separate from SFM. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I would recommend everybody reserve two sites, especially if you're going to brand certain thing, or if you're using your own name, get your .net, your .com. I use the .net for SFM because my, it's equally as powerful as my .com, but my focus is really, I don't know, I guess it's both, but the .com for me is just, you got to have a .com. So unfortunately, YouTube will only approve one site. So I had SFM approved because that's what I needed to advertise. So you're going to need to do that. If you're going to advertise on AdWords, that site, that YouTube channel has to be approved for the SFM site. Just remember that. It doesn't stop you from sending people to the second site. So if you're a coach and you want coaching books and programs and e-courses on the second site, you can develop all that, and you can send people as you talk on your channel. I tell people about my second site, and I put it in a description, but I cannot have an annotation going there because that's considered a third party, unapproved site. It's not third party, it's an unapproved site. So yes, if you're planning on doing a second one, it's like Katie Jo says, don't get ahead of yourself. So that's why I said, set the groundwork for this stuff, but implement it when you're ready. Don't overwhelm yourself, master it. But start thinking about it, because you can accelerate that much quicker than I did, because I really wasn't thinking that way at the time. It just sort of evolved. I would be much further along if I had planned in advance to start to develop that early. So, but if I had a second site, website for people to go to, then that would have been more helpful. I would have had more people going to my Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, and I didn't have any of that set up. So you guys have a lot of information now that's much more advanced, so you guys can accelerate your revenues much quicker, much quicker. So yeah, always just keep that in mind. Like when you're talking about what you love, the reason I want you to keep it in mind is because I want you to be excited. I want you to be passionate about what you're doing, because the affiliate marketing will, like, after a while, you'll just be like, want to throw the computer out the window, because nobody loves affiliate marketing, but you have to love what you're talking about. That's why, like Ken, now they're doing the mindset. That's all right in line with SFM. You can promote SFM with that message, or coaching, or whatever else you're doing, or health. Dr. Ali is telling people, if your health is not in check and it's coming from the job that you have, you better take care of that first, because healthy eating and exercise is going to help you. In fact, it could kill you. You go for a run and you're stressed out and you have a heart attack. So those messages are congruent most of the time with that second site. So just think about it and keep it in mind, because it'll keep you, excited and passionate. It'll give you ideas. You start to write books and start to do some stuff. And then at some point you'll feel comfortable to launch the second business and create multiple income streams like I have, doing amazing things. So, all right. So do we have any more questions here? Does anybody else have something they would like to ask? So the bottom line is master the affiliate marketing. If you're in module 5, you should have a website up and running right now, because that module 4 is building the website and the landing page. So you should not be studying marketing if you don't have a site up. So Jenny Lane, do you have a site up and running? You want to come out? Can you? Oh,
Hello?
yeah. Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay. I think I jumped ahead because I came to you through your YouTube channel. And so I was thinking, well, I know exactly what I want my message to be, and SFM does fit in with what I'm trying to do. So, and unfortunately, because my name is so simple, it's really hard to brand to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came up with my name for the site that I have, it sounds to me it's more like my second business and not what I'm trying to do with SFM.
Okay, so cool. So you do have your own business, your website and everything set up?
Yes, but
cool.
for the other thing, not necessarily, because that's why I was asking. I don't understand how the mini site works, because I attached it to.
That's for SFM.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want your website and your landing page and everything to be totally independent. And so, and you may go over to the affiliate marketing at some point with SFM. But okay, so you should still. So did you go through all the modules regardless?
I went through all the 4 modules so far, but not understanding, because I want to do the affiliate marketing. That's something that's going to work together.
Right. So you're going to do the affiliate marketing second. You're doing the reverse. You've got your own.
But that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's okay. So if you've already got an existing business and you want to up your game there, and then work on the affiliate marketing second, that's cool. We have a lot of people that actually do that. They have existing businesses and they just want to learn how to promote it and create it. So as long as you went through all the modules, because even if you're not doing affiliate marketing with SFM, everything they say applies, like setting up that landing page, the AWeber, the thank you page, all that stuff. The only difference is it's going to be about your business and your message and what they get there. And then you're going to have to create your own legacy series, your own AWeber list with the messages or the ebooks or the whatever. And the question is, what's the call to action? What is it you want them to do? You know, are you selling something? Are you sending them to a store? Or do you want to tell us what you're doing? You don't have to.
It's all idea stage right now. Like, I've done a portion of it in different places for a couple years, and I kind of wanted to bring it all together under kind of one roof. But from what I'm understanding, I wanted to do the SFM to kind of help me get some money coming in so I could focus on this other one too. So it sounds to me like I need to go back and figure out a name, oh my goodness, and then do it that way, and then come back to that one once I have that one up and running.
I think so. If you don't have an established business, I would suggest that you use SFM as your guinea pig to master affiliate marketing, because they have everything in place. And there's, you know, when you send somebody over there, you know that you've got your consultant taking care of them. You don't have to do anything. So that'll allow you to master it, understand how it works, and how to target all these things with their product, which is, you know, like you said, you can earn from that. And then start working on these ideas. Because once you understand the website, how it all works, the targeting and stuff, then you can be much more productive on your own idea, because you've got it working over here much quicker, because it's already set up for you. You just have to understand how it all works. So yeah, I would go back, set up that site. If you want to set up a session with me, then just email me and we'll find a time and get on there. We'll look at everything and maybe come up with some ideas, and then just,
okay.
Yeah, and then send you on your way. So you're going to be very clear about what you need to do.
Yeah, I went so many different ways. There's certain things that I want to do, because I have a crafting business that's already up and running. But I was like, I want to do this SFM first and get that under control. So I have too much stuff bouncing around in my head. I think that's the problem.
Well, yeah, you're an entrepreneur. Welcome. 101 things at one time. We all do. Every single one of us. Like, do you guys do this? It's like you start something, then you go over here and you're doing something else, then you go over here and doing something, and you come back here. Yeah, we all do it. That's not lack of focus. That's, just overflow of ideas. The thing is that, as long as you're coming back and you're working on it, sometimes we just can't stand one thing for too long because we got all this stuff going on. But just set your goals and say, okay, what do I have to do this week? I'm going to get the website done. Or so for me, I'll like pick 3 things. And this is where the success formula comes in, is like, we're all over the board and we have all these amazing ideas, which we will implement at some time, but say, what's the number one thing I have to get done to make some money? I got to get that website up. Okay, done. Now I have to get my landing page, connect it, make sure it's all running. Done. Thank you page. Download the workshop. Test it all. Now I go into my marketing. Who I'm going to target. How am I going to do it? Okay, this week I'm going to go on Instagram. Next week I'm going to, shoot. So you got to just start to set your own, tasks and stick to it. So you can do all this other stuff. So I go back and I'm writing all these other things, but I know that I have to get that done. I'm loading up my second e-course. I just started it today. I wrote it all. I said, I have to get this on here, and it's going to be online by this date. So you got to do it, and you say, well, I can't do that if I'm off, studying tracking or whatever. The second thing is which is valuable and important, but what am I going to track if I don't have something up and running? So the second thing for me is I'm going to start putting my own products on my e-commerce store, because I have an e-commerce store that is now running properly, thanks to some tech people that stepped in and helped me. You're going to run into glitches, but you won't know how to get through it. But focus on that one thing and really get to know. And that's going to be tough for you, Jenny, because you do have a lot of ideas. And the beauty is you have the potential for amazing multiple income streams. And it's okay. You can do the crafting and stuff and do something else. You can have multiple websites. But like I said, pick that one thing first, master it. Once you know this and you know the affiliate marketing, that's why it's so valuable. Wow, it applies to everything you do. Everything. It's like rinse and repeat, right? Wash, rinse, repeat. So you and I can sort of hone in on that and say, okay, let's step back and set that goal. Say, okay, what's the number one thing? So the name of the new course coming out is called One Big Thing. Everybody who starts my course, this is my .com site, you are required to name one thing. You cannot have a bunch of things. You have to pick one thing that you want in your life, and that's it. And that's going to kill some people because they're all over the place. And it forces you to say, why am I not manifesting or completing projects or successful things? Because sometimes we are all over the board. And so when you're forced to pick the one thing, you're forced to say, what is the most important thing? And so all of a sudden that thing you want to do over here is not so important. You're going, no. If I had to pick one thing, it wouldn't be that. You go, okay, it's this. You want to make money? Do the affiliate marketing, master SFM. I want to start creating the fastest way for me to create monthly income with something that's not going to rack my brain. SFM, it's sitting there for you. It's done. Whole staff of people, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars they put in a system. No brainer. You believe it. You know it's valuable. You feel good about promoting it. You love the people in there. The founders are amazing. These are ethical, wonderful people. If people don't know that, so what? That's not your audience. Go after the people that are willing and ready to do this. So that's what you learn, is the targeting, the messaging, and all that stuff. So here's the other thing, Jenny, is there are a lot of people like us out there and they don't know what to do with it. This is a platform that will help reel them in, get the wagons in. And so they want to be entrepreneurs, but so they don't just want the tools. They want to learn how to stay focused and stay in. And SFM has that's why they do so much mindset. Because if you were out there, you can have all the tools you want, but people like, I don't know why I'm not making money. I go, like, you have 10 things going on. You haven't done, not one of them is really a business, right? There's so many things that are missing. So we're learning how to do that. It's like master and focus this first. And then what's that next one big thing that you want? Got to do it. Yeah, play around with all this stuff. But if by the end of the week you haven't done what you're supposed to with the one big thing, well, don't expect to be making money in a certain amount of time. So it forces us to have to, prioritize. So like I said, I always have 3 things. I have a list sitting next to me all the time. And I'll bet you guys do this, right? Hundreds of ideas. They're all over the place. And then I have more ideas and stuff. And I usually, right? Yeah, Ken's laughing. You probably do this. I don't know if I've ever even gone back and read any of this stuff. And and I need to do this and stuff. But I do have one sheet that says, what are the 3 top things you have to accomplish now? And so I do them. So I pick 3 things because we have a short attention span. And so it allows me to go to this one and back to this one and this one and this one. So so that I'm not bored. I know you guys get bored easily, right? So Jenny, just, so I say you're right. Go back to that. If you don't have an established business, then absolutely do the SFM training. Let's set up the affiliate marketing, and then let's start to play around with the other stuff while you're mastering that. But again, it's like Katie Jo said, don't take on too much or be all over the board so that you're not getting it. Because I have to say, like, I know how to build websites, but if I'm away from it for a period of time, I will forget how to access certain things. So if you're not doing this stuff all the time, you'll start to forget it. So you got to stay on it. Judith, bye. I know we're gonna be signing off here in a minute. Everybody will get the recording. So Jenny, email me. Let's get on and just get you focused and pick some names for your sites. Ken and Dot, it's time for you to name it. And by the way, Ken, you can change the name. Don't worry about it. It's like if you can do that in the early stages, you can do that. Finally, one will go, oh no, we love this one. We want it to be this. So you guys, there's nothing, this is the beauty of online. You can change anything like within minutes. You can change your website name if you don't like it. We've had people do that. So do it early, because later on, once you're established, you won't want to be doing that. All right. Great, Joy. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's fun to have you here. Great to see some new people. And so I'll see you next week. And if you're elite, hope to see you on the training next week, the 2 days that I'll be doing that. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. And keep it going. Bye-bye.